A man accused of starting one of the most devastating wildfires in Los Angeles history is finally facing trial. 30-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht is at the center of a case that prosecutors say led to the deaths of 12 people and the destruction of thousands of homes across Southern California. More than a year after the disaster shocked the nation, a jury will now decide whether he is responsible. The case dates back to New Year's Day 2025. According to federal prosecutors, a small brush fire broke out in the hills near Los Angeles on January 1st. Authorities say the fire appeared to be contained, but investigators later concluded that it continued burning underground within root systems and vegetation. Days later, strong winds swept through the area. What happened next would become known as the Palisades Fire. The wildfire rapidly spread through communities including Pacific Palisades and Malibu. Homes were destroyed, neighborhoods were evacuated, and firefighters struggled to contain the flames. By the time the fire was finally under control, 12 people had lost their lives, and thousands of structures had been damaged or destroyed. It became one of the most destructive fires in Los Angeles history. Months later, investigators identified Jonathan Rinderknecht as a suspect. Prosecutors claim cell phone location data, surveillance evidence, witness statements, and other forensic evidence place him near the area where the original fire began. They allege that the first fire on January 1st eventually reignited and evolved into the deadly wildfire that devastated entire communities. Rinderknecht has pleaded not guilty. His defense team argues that he is being used as a scapegoat for failures by emergency responders. According to his attorneys, firefighters may not have fully extinguished the original blaze, allowing it to continue smoldering underground for days before reigniting. The defense insists that prosecutors cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Rinderknecht caused the catastrophe. The trial is expected to focus heavily on scientific evidence. Jurors will hear arguments about fire behavior, weather conditions, underground burning, and whether the original fire can truly be linked to the massive wildfire that erupted nearly a week later. Experts from both sides are expected to testify. Prosecutors have also suggested that Rinderknecht was dealing with personal frustrations before the fire started. Court filings describe a man who was angry and emotionally distressed in the days leading up to the incident. However, the defense argues that these claims are designed to influence public opinion rather than prove guilt. If convicted, Rinderknecht could face years in federal prison. But for many residents who lost homes, businesses, and loved ones, the trial represents something larger than a criminal case. It is an attempt to answer a question that has haunted Los Angeles for more than a year. Was this devastating wildfire the result of a tragic accident, or did one person's actions help trigger a disaster that changed countless lives forever?